Good afternoon, guys. Today's the day we're gonna start rebuilding the LM7 III. I've been making all those videos of us getting parts in and all of that, and today's the day we're finally going to legitimately actually start putting it together. I know we've done some videos of me getting parts and doing little things, but today is actually the day. Things to get done today are bottom end. I've ordered the heads, push rods, lifters, head bolts, all of that is on its way for the top end, but today we're going to build the bottom end. So we need to get everything done down here in the oil pan. See, oil tube, we're going to put the cam in, set timing, and yeah, so we'll have a completely done bottom end. I'm doing all the gaskets, everything like that. I was separating them out over here, and they will all the whole bottom end by today, into this video, we will have together and ready for the top end, which will take no time to put on. So if you missed the last video, we got the headers in 1 3/4. If you're new completely, you know we've got the cam, coils and wires. See, there's all the gaskets there. I got some more over here. Need to put the gasket down in that pan, but we are close. We are really close. I'm gonna say, you know, oh, one more thing. Throttle body. I think this is going to get sent to Florida to Max Bore, and they're going to bore it out and polish it for us, pour it and polish, and you know, get a little bit more power there. I think that's like $125 to sit and have that done. So we got to wait on that, and hopefully Texas Speed will have everything here by the end of this coming week. And if they do, we will put them on, build the whole motor, top end, you know, and it'll be ready to go, and then we'll be talking about when, you know, when we're going to put it in. So I'm really excited. This will kind of be, I want to show you guys my progress, so I'm going to be picking you up, putting you down on the camera, giving you progress. But first I need to clean up the oil tube a little bit more and get everything bolted in there, and then I'll pick you guys back up and show you guys where I'm at. All right, so oil tube's on, got the cover back here for the crank, and you know, before everybody runs out of the comments, because it seems like every time I work on something, somebody has got to remind me that you're supposed to torque things. I know, I'm not an idiot. Yes, everything is getting torqued to spec. I've got a whole sheet printed out of all the torque specs for every single nut and bolt I'm putting back on this motor. There's the torque wrench. Yes, I'm torquing everything, because I swear every time I do something, somebody has got to run down into the comments and say, I didn't see you torque it. Well, if I showed you guys every second of stuff I do, the videos would be hours long. So before we even get to that point, everything's torqued down and good. Anyway, oil tube covers there. I'm getting ready to put the gasket onto the oil pan, and we're going to put the oil pan on. And once I get that on, I'll pick you guys back up, and we will talk about putting that camshaft in. Alright, so for those of you that don't know, there's a sequence you've got to torque the oil pans down to. Not only do you have to follow the torque spec, but there's a sequence in which they needed to be torqued down to torque spec. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they kind of alternate back and forth. And so, you know, going further than just torque spec, oil pan, there's a sequence, and I forgot to say that. And I wanted to put that in here for the people that would be worried about the torque sequence. It's been sequenced right, as I showed you in the video, and it's torqued down right. So, oil pan is on. Hopefully you guys hear me. I got the fan on over there. Oil pan is on. I'm going to go ahead and pull the camshaft out, and we're going to look at putting the camshaft in. Alright, so here is the beautiful Texas Speed 216, 220, 600 lift, stage 3 truck cam. Yes, it's the high lift. You know, obviously, since we're talking about 600 lift. This is the camshaft. If you've been staying true to the builds that we're using, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. I need to lube it up really good, because you never want to go in dry. So I'm going to get it lubed up real good, and we'll slide it up in here, and it's not going to be hard because everything's out. There's no lifters in it or anything like that, you know, to have to try to fondle with to get it in there. It should just slide straight in. That's kind of the benefit of putting one in when the motor's torn down like this. So it should be kind of uneventful. It should just slide right in. So let me get the assembly lube and lube it up here, and we'll throw it in. Before I put it in there, look at how cool that is with the Texas Speed on it and all the, you know, the specs right there on it. That is so cool how they've got it, you know, engraved. And of course that would be in the back of the motor. You know, there's where your sprocket bolts on too. But it's still pretty cool they do that. That's It's a nice touch. Let me tell you, this stuff is extremely nasty. I have to get some more. Well, like figures, my glove would rip and I'd get all this stuff all over my hands. How much easier that is. You know, I watched videos when I first started doing this of people putting these, you know, the camshafts in, and I was watching them kind of fight. There it is. The cammed is in. We now have a cammed LM7 5.3. So I'm going to go wash my hands off and then I'll pick the camera back up. Alright, so actually when I went in to wash my hands, UPS guys showed up and brought some other stuff. I've got the NGK TR55 plugs. That is, throw them in the floor. That's what everybody was saying to run, and that's what Texas Speed likes to use. And you guys had that suggestion in a lot of the forums, like these NGK TR55s. So we're going to run those in this motor, and hopefully they'll work good. I think they will. And this is just the exhaust manifold bolts for the headers and the exhaust manifolds. So it's the little stuff that nobody thinks about that I have to keep ordering that adds up. You know, where we talk about a $400 camshaft and then $300 in gaskets. Nobody thinks that, you know, about gaskets. $300 in gaskets. That's awful. But you got the gaskets, you know, lifters, which I've already ordered. Those ended up being like 160 something bucks for LS7 lifters. The push rods were like over $100, $200. Head bolts, they weren't too bad. It was like 50 bucks. The heads were over $1,500 doing the dual valve springs, you know, and stuff like that. While I'm talking about it though, this week I called a shop about doing the dyno tuning, and they said they didn't dyno tune, and they gave me another shop which actually ends up being closer to me, and I'm going to call them and see if he is able to tune, or he would be comfortable tuning bigger injectors. If so, I'm going to order bigger injectors. I hadn't really planned on it, but the more that I've thought about it, I'm afraid of running at 100% duty cycle on these injectors with these mods. And you know, cam only, I wouldn't be worried about it, but since I'm doing the heads, you know, the heads the way I'm doing them, and then, you know, porting the throttle body out and stuff like that, I'm afraid we're going to be real close to maxing out those injectors. Plus, you know, you always want the ability in the future to go bigger, better, faster. So, fast, probably going to get some fast injectors. And I'll let you guys know next video what I decide on that. Like I said, I have to call him and see. But that's the plan on that. Let me get the timing chain, sprocket, all that, and bolt it up here, and we will close out the video. Alrighty, so got the camshaft in there like you guys saw, and went ahead and put the timing back on. If you guys don't know, setting timing on these isn't bad. It's not really going to adjust, but you see where this little divot is right here on the sprocket. There's another one down here on the crank sprocket. So you line those two up, and that's how you set your timing. So we're all set there. I need to torque these three down. I got those 4 torqued. Obviously, you got 2 before you put that on there. But for all intents and purposes, the bottom end is done. Like I promised today, we would build the bottom end, and we did it. I dumped a good bit of oil down in it just to get some oil down in the bottom. Kind of hand cranked it over. Put a little bit of oil in it so it'll set for the rest of the week, and hopefully, like I said, we will get the heads and stuff in at the end of next week. So this week I need to send this throttle body off and wait for the heads, and that's really it. I'm about at a standstill until we get the top end. So I'm going to call that shop I was talking about and see about getting in there and getting tuned. We'll see about different injectors, and there you go. Good progress being made, so stay tuned, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram at Austin04_Z71. I appreciate you watching. Got any questions, comments, drop them down in the comment section below or hit me up in the DMs. Take care. Have a great day.